stolen phones worth 35 million naira in Borno. Leader of Ituri, police deploy tactical teams, tighten security in Sokoto. Police confirm officer killed in Abuja shite attack, 19 arrested. Police arrest 14 over Edo travelers killing. Other headlines here on the Punch front page. Terra Gold wins 2025 Advan Award. That's a bit of business. Failure in sustaining family businesses limits Africa's growth. 𝐂𝐈𝐒𝐿 is coming up with that. Power sector liquidity crisis needs presidential intervention. That's according to NDPHC. All of that are some of the headlines here out of the Punch newspaper this morning. We also take a look at the Nation newspaper, pick some headlines here out of the Nation. The Natacha we knew, there appears to be a feature story right on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Half Ubara ordered bombing of Rivers Assembly by ex-head of service. Edo killings, police arrest 14 suspects as Tinubu orders manhunt for killers of itinerant hunters. And we also have this one. EFCC declares socialite Aisha Achimogo wanted for alleged money laundering. 10 young CEOs under 40 with thriving firms. Peter Obi-Rufai turned to TikTok for 2027. In 50 years, Akpabio never exhibited sexual harassment traits, says classmate. Natacha, how I became her guardian, ex-teacher. All right, audio headlines here on the Nation. A bit of lifestyle. Kiss Daniel announces 5th studio album, Global Tour. And the Metro Plus page of the paper says, my husband won't marry another woman, Toyo baby. And that's a bit of lifestyle here. Okay, before we leave the paper, Deputy Senate President eulogizes Tinubu at 73. Tinubu on the lane of service at 73. I remain loyal to APC, says Jaji. Immunity clause removal will save democracy, says Honor. Tinubu signs South Development Commission bill into law. All of that are some of the headlines here out of the Nation newspaper this morning. We also take a look at the Daily Post and have some headlines there out of the news engine. We have this one. Heavy gunfire in Abuja as Nigerian soldiers shites clash during Free Palestinians protest. Remi Tinubu Delta Nursing School bows to pressure with trust query issued to student. Alleged money laundering, EFCC declares Sanwo-Olu's ally Aisha Achimogo wanted. Fire gods Onitsha main market. And constituent petition INEC begin process to recall Enugu Rep Martins Oke. And we also have this one, the ultimate sport news. All right, that's a bit of the sporting arena. We also have this one, Natacha Akpabio saga. Edo Senator Omaswe raises alarm over alleged plan for his recall. And President Trump gives Brunovic Keita new appointment. And overstay your visa for 3 months, get 5-year ban. Nigeria wants immigrant. Shite attack in Abuja, 19 arrested, security operative dead, others injured. And stay clear of Rivers allocation, PDP group to IPAS, backs governor's suit. PDP demands state of emergency in Edo over killing of 7 alleged kidnappers. Anambra 2025 group urges Catholics to cede governorship seat to order denomination. All right, we take more here. Let's also look at the Daily Trust newspaper and also pick some headline out of the Daily Trust this morning. All right, right here on the Daily Trust, we do also have some headlines, and this says, how affordable are consumer goods? All right, let's say if this pans up, say how affordable are consumer goods ahead of Salah? And that's a question mark. 19 suspects arrested as military shites clash in Abuja. Tinubu orders manhunt for killing of hunters in Edo. And Osime and the looming disaster. That's a bit of sport. Aruna's underwhelming performances at WTT tournament in 2025. Rashford not wanted back at Old Trafford. The deadly game of medical quackery. How fake pharmacies are killing Nigerians. Amnesty International brutal lynching of northern travelers must be investigated. Killing of travelers in Edo unacceptable. Northern governors. Kwankwaso condemns killing of northern travelers in Edo, demands justice. Edo governorship orders, that's Edo governor orders probe as killing of innocent hunters sparks outrage. And still here on the Daily Trust front page, Salah 3 years without Doba in Kano. And here 10 killed, 3 injured in fresh Plateau crisis. And we have Kaduna to recruit 1,800 health workers. We'll take a look at the cable as well, pick some headlines too out of the cable NG this morning. Some of the headlines making the round here. Atiku Obi demand justice for hunters killed in Edo, say Nigerian safety must be paramount. EFCC, Achimogo's money laundering probe not linked to Atiku Sanwo-Olu. And police arrest 14 suspects over killing of hunters in Edo. Oluwagunloye, SDP not open to merger or hostile takeover by new members. And Tinubu orders security agencies to fish out killers of hunters in Edo, says no place for jungle justice. Fabricated controversies, presidency tackles Atiku over campaign funds claim from Sanwo-Olu. Mob kills 16 Kano-bound hunters in Edo. And rights group petitions NAS demands probe of deaths as at UCH caused by negligent. Rights group petitions NAS demands probe of deaths at UCH caused by negligence. Tinubu pledges to work way harder for Nigeria's stability. Outrage as reckless driver kills tech entrepreneur in Lagos. Over 140 killed as 7.7 magnitude earthquake hits Myanmar. Shiite security operatives clash during Freedom for Palestine protest in Abuja. And we do have here, federal government reviews allocation of oil terminals to pre-shipment inspection monitoring agents. And we also have this one out of the cable this morning. A bit of business. Nimasa, Nigeria paid $1.5 billion war risk insurance premiums in 3 years. All of that is some of the news item here on the cable this morning. All right, we'll take a look at the Nigerian Tribune. Of course, Austin is standing by for the analysis proper this morning. On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, we also have some headlines out of the paper. All right, this says more than 5,000 Nigerian students are in Chinese universities. Yu Donha, Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, is coming up with that. Atiku's claim of EFCC probing him over Lagos funds transfer business. That's according to presidency. Tinubu reaffirms commitment to national peace, stability on 73rd birthday. And now the latest news, dollar Salah allowance. Why EFCC should go after reps? Dr. Yemi Farombi. And all hail our government by palliative, barbaric mass burning of innocent in Edo. More than 5,000 Nigerian students are in Chinese universities taking all their wives to write sleep in mosque. We sleep outside. Henry Oshun Ilobu Ifon resident relieve horror of violent conflict. And we also have this one, how we build solution that improves financial inclusion, makes budgeting easier. Winners of Habari Pay Squad Akitin contest. And here we are still on the front page of Nigerian Tribune. 58 Nigerians who died in UK with unclaimed estates. That appears to be some of the ringing headlines there. Well, the big story here says dollar Salah allowance, why EFCC should go after reps. Dr. Yemi Farombi appears to be the big story here. Yes, we have Austin Idomu to do this analysis proper with us this morning. Hello, Austin, can you hear me?
GBOLABO, good morning. I can hear you.
Perfect. All right, Austin, I guess we can start up with this Shiite protest in Abuja. It doesn't really make any sense that Nigerians are still dealing with their own internal crisis. Why protest for Palestine and end up having crisis, death of individuals, things that shouldn't have happened? What do we say to this latest development?
Yes, I think members of the Shiite are becoming more extremist and violent by their conduct in recent time. Of course, that has always been. There's no clash. There's no protest of Shiite members that have never turned violent. That is like their peculiarity, what they are mostly identified with. Like you said, you look at it from the other angle, it might not really make sense. And even if you want to demand justice for a group of the same faith, it is within your right to express your view in a peaceful manner. But why making it violent? Don't forget, before the protest, the US have even released a security alert of where in terms of location, their citizens should not go to in Abuja. So my worry is that why is it that every protest or expression of interest of child members are always violent? That's my grouse. This happened about how many years ago, where over 300 of them were killed in Kaduna, where they had to relay the convoy of the former chief of army staff, General Burata, at that time. A lot of them lost their life. On the issue of 𝐒𝐍𝐆𝐒, incarceration and what have you, there have been more than 4 protests, violent protests in Abuja. So the military has stepped in. I think about 5 people or thereabouts lost their life. In my view, it is needless. I don't want to believe that they don't have right to protest. Of course, you have right to do like a solidarity march, express your grievances, communicate in the language that people will understand. Child members are not the only people that have protested in favor of the Palestine on the Gaza Strip issue that is going on. But if you are doing that, you do that in a very peaceful, in a very civil manner, not to impede vehicular movement, not to endanger the life and safety of others. That is what I see there. And the security operative must ensure that they are on the red alert to ensure that the lives and property of the people are safe.
So look at this one from Edo State. This is a shocking one. And of course, it lay emphasis to the level of insecurity in the country and trust. Now, we've been having this division of trust among ethnic groups in Nigeria. We know, as a matter of fact, at a point in time, Nigerians would say, you don't call people who are terrorists bandits. Put their names what it is. Call them what they are. And now, you have these instances of these individuals traveling. Innocently, they are hunters. But for an Edo who finds an Hausa man with din gun and the rest, it feels threatened. Now, how do we see this? This is a major catastrophe for us in Edo State.
Yeah, it's like a ticket time bomb. Thank God the president has even responded. A lot of people are talking. Even the governor of Edo State acted so proactively on the matter. See, criminality has no ethnic group. We must first of all disabuse our mind as far as that is concerned. There are criminals from every tribe in Nigeria. Even if you have reason to suspect some group of people, what you are supposed to do is to profile them and hand them over to security operative. You are not supposed to engage in extrajudicial killing, burning people in such an harrowing, terrifying and barbaric manner. It is strictly uncalled for. That brought like a reminiscence of what happened in 𝐒𝐿 some time ago. It is an act of barbarism. You could see Dagon. Dagon, for example, cannot be classified as lethal weapon or the one we refer to as sophisticated weapon. Once you see Dagon, what you are supposed to do, and they are traveling in mass. It's not as if you found them in the forest. You saw them in a truck, traveling home for Salah, and you had the guts to satanically set that vehicle on fire. And those who managed to escape, you have to put them in a wheelbarrow and push them into a burning fire. Man, that is mass inhumanity. And I am of the opinion that those who carry out this dastardly act must be brought to justice because they want to further fuel the division in the country vis-a-vis ethnic coloration. It is unacceptable. It must be totally condemned because, of course, there is such criminality, acts of kidnapping, people killing people here and there and what have you, all across the country. What you are supposed to do is that you profile such individual and hand them over to security operative for proper investigation. You cannot see people on the road traveling and you just raise the alarm. And the one thing that we have to also work on in Nigeria is our value system. You know, some of this alarm, people just jump into it in a bandwagon manner. They won't even ask any question. They will jump into it. Just like some things that trend on social media. You know, if it's concerning people we don't like, we automatically conclude that it must be true. So we must disabuse our mind concerning some of this issue because if care is not taken, this act can further fuel religious tension, ethnic tension in the land. Don't forget, our people also live there. If we want to go by that, there could be high level of insecurity. People can take to violence and say, oh, you killed my people, I want to kill your people. And before you know it, innocent life will be lost. So our heart goes to these innocent people that have lost their life in such a very horrific manner. And we urge the government to walk the talk, not just make comments. These people, we saw their faces on video. These people must be brought to justice. They must serve as a deterrent. There is no circumstances that warrant you taking the life of another person. Even the worst of criminal. In short, our law has protection for even suspected criminals. It is in our law. So there is no place for extrajudicial killing. So we call on relevant authority and we also call on people to calm down and allow government to deal with the issue for the benefit of all.
All right, Austin, let's also look at Rivers State. Would we say this is a politics of calumny or these are the real facts that are coming out? It says how Fubara ordered bombing of Rivers Assembly by ex-head of service. Now, what do we say with this revelation, even though it has not been thoroughly investigated?
Yes, the issue should be investigated. The head of service that just resigned, he said he was not sacked, that he willingly resigned. He too also need to be investigated. You saw a governor, based on his account, giving bags of money to some people to go and bomb an assembly complex, and you decide to keep quiet for this long until such a governor was suspended in that manner before you could speak up. How about resigning at that time? Why can't he resign at that time? To show that, oh, I can't be part of this government. Of course, he was part of the government. I don't always like a situation when something is no longer favoring us and we want to pull the roof down. We want to act like conscience of the people or conscience of the nation. What happened in Rivers State is obvious. In short, is audible to the deaf. That is what governors do, acts of impunity. I remember when 18 lawmakers in Ekiti, APC 19 lawmakers wanted to impeach Governor 𝐿 He used trailers to block the assembly complex for more than 4 weeks. That is the way they do. Obaseki also did the same thing. He pulled down the roof of the assembly complex. So my personal opinion, I do not think Governor Fubara can totally wash his hands clean of the destabilization of the assembly complex in Rivers State. But somebody in the person of the former head of service of the state, it's like aiding and abetting crime. So he should also be investigated to pay for it. Maybe someday when the governor no longer enjoy immunity, people can also decide to ask questions. That, oh, what happened? Of course, the governor has responded and said, no, I didn't do that. When the issue came up at that time, you said, okay, why did the demolition and the bombing of the assembly coincide with the talk of impeachment? So this is what we are talking about. But most of the time, our attention majorly is on the central government. Some of these governors, they commit act of rascality, act of imperialism, act of recklessness. That is what they do. It will still happen over and over again. There is no governor that will sit idle, that will allow himself to be impeached under whatever circumstances. But the idea of destroying state infrastructure, that you have to use state resources to bring up again, I think is uncalled for. So my view is that this former head of service should also be called for proper investigation. For knowing and keeping quiet, it should also be sanctioned. You don't have to, we should not continue to maintain this culture that when the center can no longer hold, it is then we now come to the public to now want to say what we claim was the truth. He should have resigned at that time. If he had resigned the second day and raised this allegation, a lot of people would believe him. Raise the allegation with evidence. And it is not just enough to also say, oh, the governor did this, the governor did that. You must also come up with evidence to nail the governor if you want the public to believe that what you are saying is the truth.
Let's look at the level of pettiness coming from Wike. Some people will say we have a very petty FCT minister. Now, Wike attacks NBA over stance on Rivers state of emergency, declaration of state of emergency in Rivers state. NBA said that it is unconstitutional for the president to have declared a state of emergency. And now Wike in turn is saying that they said that because they wanted to have a conference in Rivers state, and there's going to be some money being given to NBA as a result of that. They are not happy. And now, what do we say with Wike's utterances in the face of national issues?
Yes, the issue of NBA and the issue of Wike, we have said it. I am sure that the type of president Bola Ahmed Tinubu is, he will drop Wike at a convenient time. I said it fortnight ago that personally I believe that the worst has actually put to Governor Fubara. And I see him bouncing back in a better way. But only God knows what will befall Wike, because the president also knows the type of character Wike is. You understand? And don't forget, the president is a strategist. He's a politician. It's not just any other president. So I am sure at the appropriate time, he will deal with Wike, and a lot of people will be happy with that. This crisis in Rivers State, Wike's incessant outbursts, abusing people in the name of media chats, largely contributed to that crisis. You know, it has, the only person the Wike cannot abuse in Nigeria today is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And it's not supposed to be so. You must maintain decorum. You know, you are the elderly in the crisis. You should, at your age, it's not every time you go to the press to talk about something. That media chat, I think the president should look into it. The primary essence of that media chat is to showcase the work going on in Abuja, not to use it as an opportunity to abuse people in the South, to abuse elders, to abuse people that you perceive as political enemy. The state of emergency, the president has right to declare a state of emergency. The president does not have right to remove or suspend elected officials, because in section 305, there is nowhere that the law says that the president can sack people. However, a president has done it in Nigeria in the past. He got away with it. I learned that this case is in court. So let them go to the court and try it. NBA, like any other prayer group, reserve the right to also come out to condemn the action of Mr. President, because it came as a surprise to many of us that even the circumstances in which a state of emergency can be declared, I don't think 1/10 of it has even happened in Rivers State. But hurriedly, for one reason or the other, the president had to declare a state of emergency. So for me, I think we should just leave it the way it is. let people go to court and test our law. But as for Wike, I think Wike should maintain a form of decorum, and I think the time has come for the president to rein him in. I am even of the opinion that the president should even suspend him. The president should suspend former Governor Wike. I know the president is trying to provide a soft landing for him. Just imagine if Wike is not a minister of the FCT. Fubara would have ended his political career by now. But Wike is abusing the privileges that he has. You shouldn't be addressing the media every time. You are not the only minister. You have crisis in your state. You are not the only person that installs somebody and you are being fought. The crisis in Benue State, the secretary to the government of the federation is just managing it. Fubara waited for 3 months before he started fighting Wike. Governor Alia in Benue State, it was just 8 days after inauguration that he started fighting the SDF. 8 days. So what are we talking about? A lot of people are just trying to manage their own crisis. It's not as if it's only in River that we have a situation where a predecessor is fighting a successor. Everyone is just managing. Look at Kaduna too. The governor is Kaduna is trying to manage some of these crises. It's not as if himself and El-Rufai, they are on the same page. So Wike must caution himself. If he refuses to caution himself, I think the president should look for a way to address Wike's issue, because it's gradually becoming like a baggage to the administration and even to the president himself.
All right, Austin, let's also look at this one from Ambassador Farumbi. He said dollar sale allowance, why EFCC should go after reps. Now, we do talk about dollar taking effect within our society and economy itself. Would we say it's in the right course what he's called for?
Yes, it's in the right course what he calls for. I know that once there is festivity, there is a way the president gives money to National Assembly member. Whether right or wrong, that is debatable. Whether the parties that call themselves the conscience of the nation, all of them happen to always collect this money. It is only when it does not favor them that they will stage a walkout, or they will start visiting media houses to talk about it. How many of the lawmakers have talked about this? The last Christmas, truck of rice were given to them by the president. Some of them went back to their state and started rebagging them. How many of them talked about it? During maybe end of the year, during Salah, during major celebration of festivity in the country, the president or the federal government, there's a way reach out to them for their constituents. And we have said it times without number. The president, you don't have to send National Assembly members to us. You know us. When you need our vote, you know how to get us. When you need our support, you know how to get us. You don't have to send the governors to us. This is where we have found ourselves today. You remove subsidy, you started sending the governor to the people. How can you do that? And we are back to the same issue. Now, the crux of the matter is that why denominating that Salah gift in dollar? That is the crux of the matter. All of this put pressure on the exchange rates, on the forex market. We are just trying to rebound. The currency is firming up gradually. It's becoming more stable than it used to be. Now you are doling out $5,000 to people. You can give people money if that is a culture of impunity that we have enshrined over the years. You know, age-long protocol that is eating into our finances in the country. But why giving them money in dollar? You don't have business to give them money in dollar. At some point, we're even looking at the National Assembly that they want to prohibit the use of dollar in the country. You see people charging fees in dollar, charging school fees in dollar, charging services in dollar. It ought not to be so. Naira is our legal currency. In other countries, you can't spend any money that is not their legal currency. You can't spend it. It is strictly prohibited. But in Nigeria, you see people mopping up forests in the country, and those who genuinely and legitimately would need them for international business, they won't be able to get it. So I blame the federal government, and I want to subscribe to the call by Yemi Farumbi that EFCC should go after them. Where are they getting the money from? If you want to give them gift, you can give them in naira. I give it them in dollar. That is my worry. So I support the call for EFCC's attention. Under normal circumstances, EFCC is not even supposed to wait. Nobody is even supposed to call on EFCC because it's part of their duty to also look at illicit flow of funds and also ensure that they work with the CBN to enforce local currency usage in our country. So it's their primary responsibility.
All right, Austin, we have this one. Rights group petitions NAS demands probe of deaths at UCH caused by negligence. Now, there have been complaints over time about UCH becoming a death trap. Would you say this petition is coming at the right time?
I think it's coming at the right time. And this issue really needs to be investigated. You know, most of the time, we have this spirit, this religious spirit of leaving everything to God. When it happened to us, we say, oh, let's leave it to God. In December 31st, 2008, I lost a blood sister in UCH due to negligence. You know, since then, there have been series of cases of people that I know who die as a result of carelessness of healthcare officials. It is high time we address this issue. We must address it. There are people who die needless deaths. You go to the hospital, you shot anybody. If you, in the city of Ibadan, people pray hard to reject any occasion that will take them to UCH, except it has become like a last resort. People don't always want to go there. Because when you go there, there are a lot of things you experience. Apart from the issue of finances, the issue of stress, we also have the issue of negligence. In 2022, I also have a cousin brother that broke his hand. He was operated upon twice in UCH. I resisted the third surgical operation. I don't want to start mentioning name of people. Till today, that boy, there is something still in his hand. If you touch it, it will look as if you are touching paper, a hand that was operated upon. You know, I'm telling you my personal experience. I came close on 2 occasions. This boy is alive to the glory of God. But my elder sister lost her life in UCH due to negligence. I know the people that caused it. I still see them. They still work there. They continue, they move on as if nothing happened. Life does not matter to them. And these people are heavily paid with government funds. That is why most of the time I laugh when we start whipping up sentiment that, oh, they don't have life, they cut off their life. Are they not generating money? At times, they overcharge you what you are supposed to do. At times, they will write materials for you because they know that you are on NHIS. They will write materials for you that they won't even use at the end of the day. Where are some of these things going to? So there is a whole lot of rot in usage. Look at the case of someone, this person in question now, this particular case study. She was maltreated. She was dumped somewhere. She was abandoned. Somebody that came to receive medical service, having paid for millions of naira, and you have to abandon the person in such a manner. Of course, even if you get the best of treatment, anybody that will die will still die. But the truth of the matter is that people that are paid for services must be charged to do their duty. You must perform your duty. GBOLABO, you are in the office now, working for your pay, and you must do it well. And those in UCH, to those in the hospital, they must work for their pay. So someday, I think we need to do a kind of undercover operation to really expose the kind of deep rots in UCH. It's unfortunate that that lady died in that manner. But a lot of people, if callers will call in this morning, they will attest to this. One way or the other, maybe a friend, a relative, or somehow, or a neighbor. Some people have lost people in UCH due to negligence, out of negligence. So it's uncalled for.
Well, Austin Oluwagoloye, that's the secretary of SDP, national secretary, he said SDP is not open to merger or hostile takeover by new members. Would we say they are taking a cue from what happened in the Labour Party when Obi got there and appears that Obi took the shine and other members were just practically under Obi? Are they trying to take caution here?
Yes, apart from the fact that they want to take caution, it's always like that. Obi's own was not so pronounced. It was after the election that they couldn't really manage themselves. When Obi came into the Labour Party, of course, he gave oxygen to Labour Party to breathe. And he was not the one that originally got the presidential ticket, but when he came in, they had to substitute for him, and he got the ticket. I told you earlier, I said it's going to be very difficult. Most of these people, what they do is that people like Oluwagoloye, the National Secretary of Labour of SDP, they don't want a situation where those who are just coming will now overrun them. They want to still be relevant. Don't forget their party was not this relevant before. So some people are aggrieved somewhere they are coming, thinking that they are bringing political fortune, and at the end of the day, they are going to immerse themselves in serious crisis. So Oluwagoloye is fighting for his position. Don't forget their presidential candidate in 2023 also came out a few days ago that he will still emerge as presidential candidate in 2027. He's saying that by fiat, as if it's a family title. For example, you are supposed to suggest yourself to a contest. Of course, new members are coming. Let's see whether they will be able to boost the political fortune of the party. So those that are cross-carpet, let's see how it goes between now and 2027. I told you fortnight ago that those who want to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they should go beyond primordial sentiment. They should go beyond social media. They should go beyond TV station analysis. They should go and do their underground work. Because under this republic, this is the first time we are having a core politician as the president. This is the first time we are having somebody who fought his way to power. This is the first time we are having somebody who his party, leadership of his party did not even support his emergence as their candidate. This is the first time we are having a president who emerges, who the sitting president of his party did not even support it. They brought up policy. In January 2023, there was fuel scarcity. People were dying because of the coloring of the naira when the election was a month away. The party did everything at that time to make sure that their candidate lose. So this is a man that fought his way to party. So it's not going to be a tea party. It goes beyond sentiment. Whether he's doing well or not, if you want to unseat him, you must come together. You must unite yourself. You must leave selfish political interests and face the battle, not sentiment. These are elements of the thing that we are seeing, that they have not even gotten anywhere. They are already fighting. The issue of who will emerge as presidential candidate will still come. There will still be fight, and at the end of the day, some people will say, oh, they ring the election. The journey to the 2027 election is starting now. So let the opposition get their heart together. It is within their right to want to remove the president in 2027, but they must do their own work, because this president cannot be easily removed. And for them to remove him, they have to really come together. They have to be formidable, because the alliance that has ever worked in Nigeria worked because of Tinubu in 2013, 2014. So for another alliance to work, some people have to really do their calculation, do their homework. This is a statement of fact. It is not about sentiment. It is not about, oh, you want the president to continue. No. I've said it happened in Oyo State. No matter how bad you think a government is doing or how well you think you don't like a government, you need a strong opposition through unity and strategy to kick such a government out of power. It happened. Ajimobi second time, he didn't win because people wanted him to continue. He won because the opposition could not unite. The records are there.
All right, Austin, let's take this one before going on this break. Peter Obi-Rufai turned to TikTok for 2027. Did you understand that if you look at Trump has always used Twitter for a very long time, whether it's in an election year or it's not in an election year. Would we say these are just things that they are applying as fire brigades in order for them to get attention, or it should have been an attitude or a kind of platform they should have used a long time ago beyond now?
Thank God you are saying that. See, it's about contestation for power. Elections are not won on the social media. There are no polling units on the social media. That's the truth. In the build-up to 2023 election, the deputy governorship candidate of the PDP, some people said she has over 2 million people on TikTok. I said, come on. When they lose their election in Lagos, we did the analysis. Some people say, oh, they ring them out. Now, the reason behind their loss have just come out 2 weeks ago. See, a lot of people monitor activity on social media. They don't even vote. Some of them do not even have PVC. So it is good to use social media platforms to want to reach people, but you must actually mobilize those that are on ground. You need foot soldiers. You need people to be on ground to be able to win elections. Using social media is part of it. It is not wrong. But whether they have been using it before or they are just adopting it for the purpose of election, good luck to them. But I just told you a while ago that for them to be able to successfully raise a coalition to unseat this president, they have to do a thorough job. They have to do a thorough job.
Okay, we have to pay these bills. We'll be back shortly. Please do stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
To the man hustling every day to get his daughter through school, the artisans grinding every day to earn their urgent 2K, to the farmers, scientists, teachers, the doctors who do what they do so we can learn, live, and grow, the entrepreneur with his hustle, waiting for Baba to pick his call, to us Nigerians doing our best daily to make ends meet. The world is yours. The world is ours. Let's go. Let's grow. Go make a difference with MTN data.
Kò bá jẹ́ 24, 29 tàbí 32 ṣáà ti fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa lórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ kàn tẹ 32 FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀.
Do you know you can still meet up with June 2025 admission into one of the most affordable universities in the UK? Wrexham University is the right place for you as it offers quality education. Wrexham University is top 5 in the UK for teaching satisfaction according to the Guardian University Guide 2025 for courses and lectures. June admission application is ongoing at Wrexham University for various master's programs, and master's tuition fee ranges from £10,500 to £11,500 after scholarships. All you need to do is pay 50% of this fee, and the rest can be paid when you get to the UK. Talk to a representative of Wrexham University on WhatsApp by chatting 070-868-60286. Also follow the representative on Instagram at Apply and Study. Wrexham University, the place to be.
The holy month of Ramadan is upon us. As we embark on this journey, let's not forget to show love through sharing. This Ramadan, stay ahead with daily power from Suhoor to Iftar. Join us every Monday to Friday as we explore the spiritual and physical benefits of the month, plus exciting recipes. Catch us on our YouTube page, Hollandia Dairy Nigeria, and on Dadin Kowa, Faranwata, Sunna TV, Arewa TV, and African Magic Hausa TV stations. Ramadan Mubarak from Hollandia.
Tífà bá wọlé tọ́ ní fàáfàá jìfà. 32 FM, the happiness station, is ready to spread happiness again. Yes, ke? Time don reach for us to make our listeners smile again. Oh, are you ready? Ṣé ti dúró dédé? Àwùfù bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ don land like traffic light. If true, data is life. Na if you say recharge card go come you wait you. If your finger is fast and you are feeling lucky on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, then keep your dial locked on 32 FM 949 fẹ̀yìn. Nítorí òjò recharge card yóò máa rọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun, Ọjọ́rú àti Ọjọ́bọ̀. Ìyẹn ní pé every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, time go reach you. Àwùfù bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ go dey ṣẹlẹ̀ on top 32 FM 94.9 by 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m. Congo reach 7 p.m. Lẹ́yìn tó túmọ̀ sí pé láago 8 òwúrọ̀, aago 11 àárọ̀, aago 1 ọ̀sán, aago 5 àti aago 7 àṣálẹ́. If it be red network, if it be green network, if it be yellow network, any which way na way, your own na to stay alert and stay active on 32 FM. Ló bá tán, mọ́ gọ́ọ̀kì ẹ̀ láfàwọ́dá.
You want like Vinny Junior? Èmi tí mo phenomenal gangan.
Get 10% cash back when you pay for Google Play subscriptions with your Verve card. Play your favorite games and save. Hurry! Start transacting on Google Play with your Verve card now. This promo is valid until March 31st, 2025. Verve. Enjoy the good life.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still on to Break It On Papers Review here on your Laughter Die 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we do have a caller here already. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
GBOLABO.
Sir.
My name is Ade from UI.
All right, good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Augustine. I appreciate Augustine this. In fact, Augustine is very wonderful. You know, whenever you challenge Augustine this morning, I was waiting for what he would say on Wiki. But Augustine really made me to be disappointed. He perfectly answered the question. I'm very God bless him. On Wiki, you challenge him. I was expecting what he would say, but he has said the best. Minister is becoming a bondage, a kind of blemish to the president. And that if the president should leave him now, I'm telling you, many people are going to change their mind on the president. As the goodwill is going to be restored again, because the name of the president, the name of the country, the name of the Southwest, even beyond Nigeria. That's number one. Second one of God said is on the issue of the SDP. That is it. The president, to be sincere, is not somebody that can easily be removed if you are not committed and united. I've been looking at those parties, the SDP, they just started and they've been fighting for ownership of the party. It cannot work. That will remove Tinubu must be totally united and committed and ready to start. So God bless us. God bless us the best of today.
All right, thank you so much, I think, for calling in. The numbers are 070-55000-949 or 080-97949. You can also call +234 9062 Do remember we are also live on Facebook and of course YouTube in case you want to drop your comments on our socials this morning. That's 32FM Fenya on Facebook. That's 32FM Fenya. That's 32FM 949 Fenya with double E's on Facebook and also on YouTube. All right, the numbers again are 070-55000-949 or 080-97949. Those are the numbers to call into the program this morning. We'll take some comment on Facebook, and of course we have Okediron Babatunde says TET Fund is no longer funding overseas education to strengthen local universities. It is better for the country. The money will remain locally and better the economy. All right. He also says we have the human resources while materials for hands-on can be reported to train the students locally. Okay, we also do have more here. Olatuboswe Mola says from Akpata Ibadan. He says, good morning. Good morning. And he says, I was almost weeping, okay, when I heard about the avoidable senseless killing that happened in Edo State, while those that committed this dastardly act should be brought to the police. And he says care should also be taken to sensitize migrants from the northern states carrying light weapons, for example, to get security backup when coming to states or going around taking the state of insecurity. All right, this is some of the comments here on Facebook. In case you also want to drop your comment, you can do that. That is 32FM949 for here on Facebook with double E's. And then the numbers to call in are 070550949 or 080970949. If you're having issues with that, you can call this one +234 90 62 949. Those are the numbers to call into the program this morning. It's still your laughter dial, and of course it's the Break It On Papers Review here on your laughter dial, in case you want to drop your comments here. All right, we still have Austin with us in the studios. All right, Austin. Okay, let's take this one. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Austin. Regarding the issue of opposition party, I think, like what the Austin said, I absolutely agree with him. See, the opposition party, they need to work ahead social media or media shares. They need to go to the grassroots to let the people know that, see, the opposition party are ready to unseat the APC, the way APC did in 2014 for Jonathan. But we in Nigeria as well, we must be able to design our mind that 2027 election is between Nigeria and APC as well. If truly want to move, want to allow this country to move forward, not backwardness. That's my own submission. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We have Honorable 𝐃𝐈𝐒 that caller on Facebook says those ganging up against Tinubu will later join him in a second term bid. There's no Nigerian alive today who is more political than Tinubu. He knows his onions and he will go for it. The core and thoroughbred politician alive today is Tinubu. You may not like him, but you need to accept he knows the game of politics. All right, the numbers again are 070550949 or 080970949. You can also call +234 90 62 949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, GBOLABO.
Morning.
Good morning, Austin. Well done to both of you. Is Austin there?
Yes, he is.
Well, child, my name is Tonya Brown. Sorry.
Okay.
Child seem to be synonymous with violence. I think by now they should review their acts for sanity. Because the history of Austin said it this morning. This same side lost over 300 people during the Buratai saga. So I don't know why it is anytime you hear the word that word child, it's just about violence. I think they should think about what to do with that. Former head of service of the government of the River State, Mr. 𝐒𝐿𝐒, is sponsored and must be investigated. He must be investigated. It's from the same thing. I know where it's coming from. I know this man we are talking about. This is how they do. This is when he's sponsored and he's just talking what he's saying. I don't want to. He will be investigated, and I'm quite sure he will be investigated. He said Ubara was to bomb, sponsor to. He will be investigated. And finally, Mr. 𝐒𝐿𝐒 has a date with the people of River State for all his plans and insults on the elders and people of River State. Time will tell. Mr. Austin, well done this morning. Thank God, Austin, you have not found your vibes to condemn the act of Barrister 𝐒𝐿𝐒 for the first time. I think you found your vibe this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tonya Brown, for that. Okay, we have to leave the studios right about now. Austin, any last shot as we get out of the studios this morning?
Well, God bless Nigeria, God bless Oyo State, and God bless 32 FM.
All right, on that note, we must say a big thank you to Austin Uduma for doing this with us this morning, and to all our callers and those who sent in their messages on our socials. We say a big thank you. And of course, Baba Fendo is up next. Please do stay with us. My name is GBOLABO, famous call. Bye for now.